Morning, everybody. So out getting a little bit of exercise. We'll get to this. So what's up, everybody? I figured I would just make a quick video. I don't know if you can really hear me. But I just got done shooting with Camp Gagnon. The video is going to drop. So anyways, I just got done filming a whole bunch of stuff. I'm rolling with one hand. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff that I've been watching on Sean Ryan. I've been watching this go on for a while. Most recently, I just got done shooting a major thing with a major podcast, and it'll be coming out as I promised you guys. Be dropping this month. 3 episodes. We've been shooting for a while. I was watching the Sean Ryan Katarina Schultz deal, and they're talking about how much cartel members get paid. And you're gonna have to forgive me because I just recorded all of this. Thought I was recording it, and then it shut off because I turned it around and shut it off on accident. There's a lot of problems with a lot of stuff that people say. There's nothing stopping someone going to Mexico, paying some people some money to put on a balaclava and pretend like there's some top level cartel. And you find this out because you'll see little details that are wrong, or that they don't lack the clarity, or they lack the clarity that they should have. You're going to have to forgive my style. I loop around a little bit. I got a lot to say. I'm sitting there listening to Sean Ryan ask Katarina Schultz, a Canadian, how much cartel members make. And she says about $500 a month, which is correct. It is about $500 a month. But what she doesn't know is that when you're interrogating members of a cartel, of different cartels, they give you the same answer every single time. And it's not about $500 a month. It's 5,000 pesos a la quincena. 5,000 pesos a la quincena. That's the respuesta, the answer that you're looking for, Katarina. And the reason why it's 5,000 pesos a la quincena, because the state police, federal police, and Mexican soldado rasos, which are Mexican privates, we're making about 5,000 pesos every quincena, every 2 weeks. And the Mexican cartel, let me make sure, still recording, it is. The Mexican cartel did that as a direct burla in Spanish, joke, making fun of the government flaunting in a show of power. That's what they're doing. That's how much they make, right? And that's why. You're also going on and on and on about how Mexico is one of the most violent places in the world for journalists, which it is. My wife is a journalist. She covered stories on a national level, has interviewed Osorio Chung. She has interviewed the Dalai Lama. My wife is a journalist, and I would consider Katarina Schultz a journalist too. She has an education, but she's not a top-level cartel journalist. There are journalists that are murdered, and it's known worldwide. There are journalists that are murdered in Mexico, but somehow these cartel members are going to make an exception for you, Katarina. That's laughable. And you're cute. No, don't get me wrong. Everybody knows you are. Sit there watching you flirting with Julian, other people. There's no denying you're beautiful. But you're not like top-level access cartel. And you know what? If you ever want to go on a show with me or go hook up in Mexico, I'll totally do it with you. No lie. I'll do it. Not a joke. Forgive me, I'm paddling with one arm. You know, I get tired of watching my brothers butchered, their families kidnapped, us working around the clock with 17 hours off per week, 365 days a year, just to watch grifters like you come in and try to like get rich off of it. I'm not begrudging you any success that you have. You know, we all drop into this earth and we have to become as successful as we can. But you kind of got to stay in your own lane a little bit too. And when you're 24 years old going to Mexico and you were just writing about wildfire stories, and Ed can't even drop his last name, his maternal last name, so you can really pinpoint him down, and he's pretending like he's doing high-speed gun shootouts 2 states over, not working in Baja California, but passing Sonora and passing Chihuahua. You know what? I'm going to start saying some stuff. And my story's starting to get some traction. And I'm gonna have something to say. I have got a lot to say. I put my face out there. I've carried weapons for the Mexican government. Have you, Katerina? I don't think so. Sean hasn't. Nobody has except for Ed, but Ed won't nail down exactly who he is. And you know, it's kind of an issue, dude. Kind of an issue that you guys are sitting here pretending to inform the public about stuff that you're not even informed on really yourself. You know what? And I don't have to say that. I know it's a fact because there's so many cartel members in Mexico that have murdered so many journalists that there's not a chance in hell all of them are going to give you a pass just because you're Canadian and you got a pretty face. Not going to happen. Not the way it works. So, you know, you could go to Tepito and El Defe, shoot your little stories with street level hoodlums, but that doesn't say that they're Cartel de Jalisco Nueva Generación or Sinaloa or Zetas or Golfos or anybody else. And to be super honest, I've worked in Sinaloa, in Los Mochis, in Mazatlan, right? In fact, that's exactly where I was when Peña Nieto got elected. Election day, Peña Nieto, I was in Los Mochis, Sinaloa. So, you know, I've been around a little bit. I don't want to like make a super long video. I want to make a little video, but I've reached out, and this is my other problem. I've reached out to all the people that are interviewing you guys, and none of them have gotten back to me until Mark and the guys over at Camp Gagnon got back to me, and I'm grateful for that. I learned a lot, and they're great people. Mark and your entire crew, you guys are great, man. I learned a lot about editing and shooting videos. I'm going to sit on this for a little bit because I don't want people to know exactly when it came out. But the bottom line is there's a lot of people trying to sell the American public a lot of stuff, and they don't have the idea that they're talking, they don't have the first clue, and they definitely aren't proving anything. So, you know, put up or shut up. I'll go on a podcast with you guys and compare notes any day of the week. I'm gonna get some exercise. You guys have a great day. You know, you can't be a couch potato all the time. You got to get after it. Cheers, man. So what's up, everybody? I was gonna roll with the YouTube with Bluetooth audio, but it seems like it doesn't really want to cooperate right now, and I hope the wind's not too bad. So anyways, you know, just out here getting some exercise, because you got it. Man, this crow probably wants me to give him some food or something. You're not getting any food today, buddy. So, you know, there's a lot of people that got something to say about everything going on in Mexico. Ed and Katerina, Sean, I've contacted each of you guys several times, and I know you get my messages because you see my comments on your YouTube video. I'm not going anywhere, and I am 100% sincere in who I am. And I'm not a pretender, and I'm not a tourist. Been in Mexico a long time. Man, I really hope. Yeah, this crow's up here in the top of this tree. I don't know if you guys can see that. Right up there. What's up, little buddy? Good morning. Good morning. So, hey, you know, wrapping up everything with Mark was like really a good thing, man. His crew, all of them. I don't know if they want me to name each one of them, but the producer, the photographers, each one of you guys, and also, you know, everyone else that was on his tour. I wish those guys nothing but the best. Great people, man. Stellar people. And, you know, I'm really excited for having the opportunity to do this, you know, because you're not guaranteed anything. For better or worse, my wife and I have opened up Pandora's box as far as like putting our name out there. We've doxed ourselves, don't have anything to hide. And, you know, I was thinking about it because it really is a gamble. My wife and I, you know, we talked about it at length before we decided to film anything. And I have to say something, because I watch stuff like Johnny Mitchell be wearing an Ed Calderon shirt, and Ed won't put his maternal last name out there. Katerina is 24 years old and new to the country, where journalists routinely get whacked. Coming in with American or Canadian money, you can pay whoever to say whatever and put on a balaclava. So if it sounds like I'm talking smack, I am a little bit, because you should challenge the veracity of what people say. I invite people to do it to me. Go ahead. I'll prove it right in front of you. Joe, you know, I had to say something because all these people know each other, and when you clearly have experience and did it for years, and you put yourself out there constantly. Sean Ryan says that his producer told him that he needed to have a look at Katerina Schultz. Vincent Vargas. I got a list of names. Tommy G. I can go down the whole list. I've contacted all these guys, and none of them wanted to give me an opportunity until Mark did. And, you know, I'm grateful for that. I'm also talking to a publicist about writing a book, because I've always when you involve yourself with this, you're going to run into the legalities of things that are like hardcore, man. And so, you know, I got to be getting to work. I got to go to work in about an hour. But I wanted to get up and get a little bit of exercise in. You know, shooting that video. I'm getting a little fat around the midsection. And I got to keep that stuff down, you know. None of us are getting any younger. I hope this video isn't jacked, or the audio. I hope you can hear it. If not, I'll tone it down, or I'll try to tone down the audio level when I'm editing it. Put in some captions if I have to. But what I have to say is important, and I know it's important because it's a subject that's being covered by a lot of people, man. And so, you know, I want you, oh, look at this, fellow kayakers. Or rower. Good morning, sir. Woo! Not feeling very friendly today, I guess, but whatever. So, you know, I try to be a friendly guy. I really learned a lot from Mark and those guys this week, and the importance of knowing everybody's name, the importance of making people feel important. And Joe, Sean, Katrina, Ed, all these people are super important. But getting back to what I was saying, you know, Johnny Mitchell, being a drug trafficker from Oregon, you know, I know a little bit about that. In fact, I know a lot about that. But it doesn't make him an expert on cartel stuff. And you got all these people that are in bed with one guy in particular, and now this other chick is in bed with this same group of people. Ed's corner up in Tijuana, it's a busy corner without a doubt, but he doesn't know anything else about the rest of the country. And as far as Libre knife fighting, taking lives in Mexico, I've got the owner of that to sit there and denounce some of that. It was something he got from Ed, and I would love to see where Libre knife fighting has been used to dispatch lives in the Mexican Republic. I doubt Ed's got the balls to speak to that. Ed, totally calling you out on that, man. One more thing before my videos hit. It's important that I tell the truth in everything that I do, because when I do, once I put this out there, people are going to pick it apart. And they're going to pick it apart whether what I say is true or not. So if you're starting off on the wrong foot by putting out little misnomers or half-truths and stuff like that, you're really shooting yourself in the foot, because the truth is going to come out. Might be now, might be in 10 years, but you're going to be found out. So Katrina Schultz having that level of access to high-level cartel members that kill everybody in their path, I doubt it. Cartel members that would put it on blast what they're doing and where they're moving stuff and how they're setting up stuff in Canada, I doubt it. Plus, setting up stuff in Canada just to get it into the United States, I doubt that too. Why bother? Just goes directly to the United States. And she's saying that this has been going on since 2017. She says she's 24. 2017, right? So we're talking 8 years ago. 24. She was 14 years old, man. What type of first-hand experience does she have in 2017? So that's kind of like what I'm doing. If I'm nitpicking apart the chow mein off the Chinese menu, you know what? I am a little bit, but we should. So I'm going to cut it. I hope you guys have a good day. I got to get my stuff up to the truck and I got to get to work. Cheers, man.